continue with our presentations. If you can just bear with us for one moment. Our next speaker has been a marketer, an entrepreneur, a digital guru, an author, a data analyst, and a community service leader. Please welcome on stage Pete BLACKSHAW, Global Head of Digital Marketing and Social Media of Nestle.
Hi, thanks so much for inviting me, and I'm absolutely delighted to be here. My day's been amazing. I spent the morning with our Nestle team down the road and heard a whole series of great presentations, and I just sense that this market has a great heartbeat of innovation in the digital space, so I'm really honored to contribute. I wanted to, let me see if I can get this on my ear properly so I can dance around. Okay, alrighty. What I wanted to talk to you about is our transformation at Nestle, and I wanted to focus primarily on the cultural side. Let's see if this, there we go. First, let me just tell you a little bit of background about Nestle. I'm constantly overwhelmed at the number of brands that we have. We have over 2,000 brands. Most of them are local, but we have a number of really big global brands like Nescafe, which most of you are familiar with. Quite a few in the water space, San Pellegrino and the like. And so therefore, incredible amount of opportunity if you're leading digital to call best practices and encourage sharing across markets. Here's some pretty interesting digital statistics, kind of tweetable stats, if you will, in terms of what we have here. Just, we sell over sorry about this. Someone's going to tweet the fact that this didn't get put on my thing right. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, good. All right. We sell 1.2 billion products daily, but what's interesting about that is that a growing percentage of the products have digital linkages. And lately, as a digital leader, I've been thinking a lot about the power of owned media. In a world where digital is driving connections, especially with mobile devices, you know, how do we think about getting more value from our cherished offline assets? And this is one reason why Nestle was one of the first companies to launch a program called Beyond the Label. We're leveraging QR codes. You can go to a Kit Kat pack or Nescafe Dolce Gusto and learn everything about the product, even supply chain issues, where it was made, down to the farmer and the like. On this over on the right, we literally produce about 1,500 pieces of content every day through social channels. And that's before you count responses and comments. That's kind of published content. That means we really have to get smart at how we deliver and create quality content at scale. That's why marketing automation is so important. That's why social content management is critical. And these are things that we really need to think about in terms of managing workflow and the like. It also allows us to learn very, very quickly in terms of what type of content wins and why. We've got about 200,000 employees on an internal social network, and I'm a passionate believer that internal mastery drives external mastery. We need to walk the talk. If we're going to be great digital leaders, whether in organizations or in our agencies, we have to practice it. We have to be credible. We have to be good content creators to our own employees to have the credibility to win with today's very skeptical, demanding, high expectation consumers. I'll come back to that in a moment. And then, and this is not a unique thing for Nestle, over 40% of the traffic to our web properties is mobile, and that is double what it was a year ago. And this is something that all of us need to grapple with. The big mobile reality is that consumers are coming to us through smaller interfaces, How do we use this as an opportunity to renegotiate a simpler, more value-added relationship with consumers? That's what I think about every night. It both keeps me up at night, but it also wakes me up in the morning with excitement. Now, we've got a pretty bold ambition at Nestle. We've set a goal of being the leader in the industry in leveraging digital and social media to build brands and delight consumers. And like all of you, we have lots of KPIs and targets, but if I had to put them into 4 basic buckets, they would be, number 1, embracing fundamentals, not losing sight of those core marketing truths that we can build upon. We have something at Nestle called brand building the Nestle way. It's a big reason why I left a great job to come to Nestle, and it's grounded on great consumer and marketing fundamentals. For those of us that are looking to grow digital in our organizations, to drive more investment, we don't have to look much further than the core brand building fundamentals to get things moving. And it's one reason why I think Nestle's been moving relatively fast. Secondly, media productivity. I'm not going to have a lot of time to talk about this today or share examples, except to say that we believe there's massive opportunities to leverage digital to increase media productivity, whether through a combination of advanced targeting, addressable advertising, media mix modeling, and most importantly, paid, owned, earned media optimization. I do believe that getting a harmony between the paid, owned, and earned is what can drive huge return for brands. Easier said than done. Everybody's got to work together, the brands, the agencies, the suppliers, to get that right. But I am really, really happy to see the progress. Some of you may have seen the Kit Kat tweet last week that was retweeted 30,000 times related to Bengate. Very good example of a nice harmony between paid, owned, earned media. The other piece is external focus and innovation. How do we just get much closer to the startup pulse, to this very, very disruptive reality, and to kind of be humble as we put our ear to that pulse to help us move faster. I'll talk about that more in a moment. And then the 4th pillar is like rapid scaling and collaboration. How do we truly walk the talk on digital and social media principles of kind of igniting networks, getting people to talk to one another? This is an area that is critically important for any of us leading an organization. Now, let me kind of focus on 2 areas that I'd like to dive deeper on, and it's an area that I don't think gets enough attention in these kinds of speeches. We generally just show a lot of case studies and ROI analysis, and that's important, and we can talk more about that afterwards, but I want to talk about culture. The first thing is that what we've tried to do and think hard about at Nestle is like, how do we, there are just so many things that are changing in the marketplace. We know we need to be fast. We know we need to be more agile. We know we need to be adaptive. We know we need to share. And what we tried to do at Nestle is ask ourselves, okay, could we test a different type of model that could give our brand builders the experience they need to win, not just in a digital environment, but in an environment where there's massive change all of the time. So right after a visit with our top executives to the Silicon Valley, we were so inspired by hackathon culture that we decided to create a program called the Digital Acceleration Team. And the idea was that we would bring our best leaders into our center in Switzerland for 8 months at a time. And we would spend half the time where they would work on strategic projects with brands. They would divide the rest of the time between hackathons, and they would spend the rest of the time on very intense training. We have graduated 50 brand builders that are now leading digital in their markets, including in this market, Eves, wherever you are. It's having a big impact. Let me show a video that brings this to life, okay? Let's run the reel. Do I need to push the button? Can you go back and play it, please? Yo, in the back. Okay, let's try it again. All right. Can you play the video? Thank you. DAT stands for Digital Acceleration Team. We started this program in early 2012, and it's grown tremendously. We have over 45 DAT graduates so far.
We are creators, enablers, and ambassadors.
We think faster,
Better, cheaper, and smarter.
we are here to lead.
By leveraging digital and social media.
To build brands
And delight consumers.
That is dedicated to take full advantage of digital and social media to inspire business results and innovation. We focus on listening, engaging, inspiring, and transforming.
A key focus of the DAT is to think about digital as much as an operating principle as a communication channel.
Fully committed to talk the walk, the DAT continues to be a center of experimentation and breakthrough change within the organization.
We have to think speed and stay proactive.
To think faster and act faster.
Innovation at that speed.
Embrace change and listen to what the consumer is saying.
It's very simple. It's about us moving faster.
I feel proud to be part of a company with a big commitment to nutrition, health, and wellness.
A big focus of the DAT is all about leading by example. It's highly experiential. We want them to experience and live and breathe and eat digital, and then internalize that into how we develop best practices in marketing, sales, e-commerce, all those different areas.
We're working closely with our Silicon Valley Innovation Outpost team to leverage startup culture to deliver a competitive advantage for Nestle.
We are learning the skills to create highly effective and engaging content.
This year, we were approached by the NRC to work with them on a pizza task that was directly linked to the innovation pipeline. The DAT is truly inspiring Nestle to think and act differently.
We are currently working with an emerging market on a pilot that aims to improve business efficiency through mobile technology.
One of my greatest sources of pride and passion is working with the DAT team members. They bring an incredible sense of can-do, optimism, consumer centrism, and kind of speed of market that I think is so important.
DAT, in my view, is the most concrete, tangible manifestation and evidence of our ambition to be leaders in digital and social media.
I've been incredibly proud of how DAT members have gone to markets and led digital, led major brands, led major initiatives, started their own DATs. Again, we're creating a network effect at Nestle where we're bringing in some of the smartest and most passionate leaders, not just digital leaders, but leaders who see digital as the DNA of the new brand building power.
The DAT model is scaling fast around the world, so we are committed to build and nurture the Digital Acceleration Network.
The DAT team continues to raise the bar at Nestle, and this is really important because digital is raising the bar, and companies need to catch up and meet those new expectations. One thing that really surprised us, because we didn't anticipate this, and this is why we need to test and measure, the model that we started a little over 2 years has already planted itself in 12 different Nestle markets. So if you can hit a success in digital, things move really fast, and part of that is because of the power of sharing, which is the last point I wanted to underscore, which is rapid scaling of knowledge. We cannot make big things happen in digital without embracing what makes digital unique. You know, sharing, collaboration, and the like. And what we've tried to do at Nestle is really leverage the different digital platforms within the enterprise. So we've tested internal video, internal blogs, and most importantly, an internal social network. And let me just kind of bring this to life. You know, here's a, I don't delegate my community management. I manage a community of about 3,200 brand builders. I post every day. I measure with precision my likes, my comments, my shares. I post video. I encourage others to share. But again, a lot of the efficiency of principles that we embrace in our personal lives through mobile and Facebook and Google can apply to the enterprise. This is how we make our organizations work really, really smart. Just look at this, for example. Here's an example of how different influencers within Nestle are segmented based on their contributions to learning. Again, we don't need to look much further than our personal lives on social platforms to inform great strategies to create business value in our own enterprise. And that's part of what we're trying to do at Nestle. Yes, we're trying to win on, get those Cannes awards out there with great external campaigns, but we're also trying to think about how to live and breathe digital. That ultimately is what's going to make us stronger as leaders and brand builders moving forward. So that is that's the key takeaway. Think about how do you treat digital as much as an operating principle as a communications channel. The two go hand in hand. You can't have excellence without that kind of cultural shift. And the good news is that the two really, really feed one another. So with that, I thank you very much. And again, to this market, amazing things are happening here. I'm definitely coming back. And I definitely want to give a public shout out to our Nestle Turkey team. They've been absolutely fabulous. And again, to the Webit organizer, thank you for a great event.